All right, so the supplies we need are fabric, natural fiber fabric. That can be either plant-based like cotton, or it can be animal-based wool. This is a napkin that's 100% cotton. And I'm also going to be dyeing, these are 100% cotton tea towels. They're called flour sack towels. These take dye very nicely, and I think I found them at Walmart, so you should be able to find them in any kind of big box store. Then we need, I'm going to use the Indigo. This is pre-reduced indigo powder. Like I said, that needs soda ash and a reducing agent to go with it. And in the book, I will have the quantities that you need of each for this. You don't have to use indigo. I know in Japan, the traditional shibori uses indigo, but there are many other dyes that you can use. I have had some success with these tulip fabric dye packets. Now, the process for these is going to be very different than that. You will need to, this gets boiled or simmered, and you're going to need some salt. So make sure whatever packet or whatever dye you decide to use to just follow the directions on the back. You also need a 5-gallon bucket with a lid. You're going to need about 4 gallons of warm water. You need something to stir it with that is, you know, taller than the bucket. I happen to have a broken pool cue. Then you need some pieces, like some shapes to create your designs. You want some round shapes. These are tops of cans. Just be careful. These are probably a little sharp. Rubber bands. I have some wooden pieces. These are rectangles. And I happen to actually find these wooden hearts at Dollar Tree. So I'm going to try these out. They're pretty sturdy. Whatever you use, it just needs to be, you know, fairly sturdy so that it doesn't warp from the water. And if there's a stamp on it like this, just make sure that, you know, you put that to the outside and not facing the fabric. You don't want that to discolor your fabric. Here I cut some triangles that can be used. This is some kind of a pressed cardboard. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it's sturdy enough. I've tried it before and it works fine. Or popsicle sticks work great. Then you need some kind of a container to let your dyed bundles rest in. All right, let's make the dye. So let's get these out of the way for a second. And okay, so we have our warm water. Put your mask on. And then once we get the mask on, we want to add all of these elements. All right, here we go. I'm going to add the dye. And add the soda ash. And then we're going to add the reducing agent. And I think the main criteria here is you don't want to create any bubbles in there. I mean, it's bubbling, but you don't want to stir in any air. So to stir, hold on 1 second, let that finish, and then I can take this mask off. All right, I'm not sure if you were able to hear me. Okay, so you don't want to just go in there and just start, you know, stirring real vigorously and creating air bubbles. What you want to do is just very carefully just go in one direction. One direction till it incorporates. I know you can't smell it, but it's a little bit stinky. Scraping the bottom a little bit as we go to distribute the soda ash and the reducing agent and the dye powder. Get it to dissolve. All right, and then just carefully go in the other direction. Oh yeah, there's a bunch at the bottom. And then I see more powdery stuff on the edges, so I'm just going to scrape the side a little bit. Okay. Does not have to be completely dissolved. I don't think that you can get it completely dissolved, and we can't tell anyway. So, but I think that looks good. All right. Now you want to just let that sit for a while. You want to cover it. So, put this in here for now. Okay. Let's cover it and just set it aside for a while. All right, so the first design is going to be it's going to be an accordion fold, and I'm going to use rubber bands to secure it in place and to create the resist. So where the rubber band is tight around the fabric, the dye won't penetrate. So you could accordion fold it just as it is, but it's a little more difficult when it's a wide piece like this. So I'm going to just fold it in half first. And this is also a good time to mention that you might want to iron your fabrics before you dye them. I did not do that this time. You also want to make sure and remove any tags, because the tags that, if you don't remove the tags and they get folded in with it, then you might have a blank space where you wanted it to be dyed. Okay, all right, that's good enough. So in order to accordion fold it, it's basically it's just a pleating technique. So what we're going to do is grab this edge, fold it over, and then you're going to grab all these layers and fold it under. And once again, grab them all and fold it over. Always approximately the same width. And just continue with the whole towel. All right. There we go. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't come out exactly even. That's fine. Okay. Now we're going to secure that with our rubber bands. Let's see. How many you want to put on there is entirely up to you. Wherever you have the rubber bands, the dye won't penetrate the towel and you will get white areas. All right, now let's see. The next one I want to do is called a flag fold. And what you want to do is fold it in half, corner to corner, into a triangle. I don't think these towels are exact squares, so it's going to be just a little bit off, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. All right. Once you have it in half, then fold it corner to corner again. And again, just like a flag. That's why it's called flag fold. And fold it over again. And one more time. Let's see, do we want to do one more? No, I think I'm going to leave it. This felt too scrunched up the other way. Okay, so now we need 4 popsicle sticks. And I also found these at Dollar Tree in packets of 60. These are nice because they're a little bit bigger than the ones that you get at the grocery store. Okay, and you want one under, one over. And this is going to act like a clamp and hold that in place. And then you're going to secure those with your rubber bands, like so. Okay, the final fold we're going to do, I'm going to use this napkin. It's a little bit smaller. These are easier to handle. If you're just starting, it might not be a bad idea to just use something smaller. Okay, we're going to fold this in half. And then we're going to fold it in half again. Into little squares. And half again. to try these heart shapes. Remember, if there's a stamp or whatever, make sure that it stays on the outside. There. And here. Oh, and one thing I forgot to tell you about in the supplies is clamps. These clamps are very helpful too, because, and you can also use laundry clothespins. Okay, so we're going to clamp these together like so. Try not to scrunch the fabric too much. Okay, all right. There are the 3 different pieces. Okay, now we're ready to dip these pieces into our indigo. I went ahead and wet our bundles. You want to go ahead and get them thoroughly wet. And then, as you can see, our dye bath has a little bit of a film on it, and you just want to remove some of that. It doesn't have to be all of it, but just like that should probably be fine. You just don't want any big bubbles. Sometimes there's foam, which you don't really want. All right, and then put on your gloves, and what we're going to do is take each bundle. Let's take them out of here for a second, because we're going to need that container. All right. Okay, you're going to take each bundle and you're going to squeeze the water out. And as you're squeezing, you're going to dip it down. See how it's turning green? Dip it down into the dye. And just squeeze it while it's under there. You don't want to let it drop to the bottom, because there's going to be like sediment down there, and if you do that, then you're just going to get uneven dye. Okay, and just as you've got it under there, just squeeze it and work it a little bit. And see how it's green? And now it's going to slowly turn blue. All right, move it aside. And then just repeat that with the next one. Squeeze out the water. See how it's turning blue over here? Dip it in. Squeeze out the water. Squeeze in the dye. Just work it a little bit. There. Pretty green. Look at the difference already in the one that I just dipped and the one that I dipped first. And hold on, I need an old towel. It is messy. All right, and then we have this one. Same thing. Okay, so I dipped each one of them about probably 4 times and worked it. Busted my gloves in the process and made a big mess. So you can see that nice deep blue indigo color. So let's see what we've got. Now we're gonna unpack them, and then they need to be rinsed. And then they're ready to go. Let's start with this guy. This was our heart shape. Yeah. Look at there. There we go. And if I'm not mistaken, that green is going to disappear as it continues to oxidize. See? Let's see. Find it here. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Let's open this one. See what we've got. There we go. Yeah, I like it. Very nice. Ah, look at that. Okay, finally, we have our flag fold right here. Let's see. I like how it starts out green, and then as the air hits it, it turns blue. Look at that. That's a fun pattern.